Do you ever wonder why real estate investors are constantly bragging about not using their own money to fix and flip properties? I mean, hell, if they're making all this money, why wouldn't they use their own money to fix and flip properties? One of my students last night in our private Zoom asked the same question, and I thought it was such a great question and a good answer that I bring it to YouTube and give you guys the value of understanding why people even at our level, fixing and flipping 6 to 10 properties every single month, are not using any of our own money. In this upcoming video, you're gonna see that answer broken down on a whiteboard. And if you want more videos like this in the future, please let us know down in the comments so we can make future content to help you out in your real estate journey. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hey, Pace, how are you?
I'm good. How can I help you today, brother?
Two quick questions. First of all, when you're doing a fix and flip, you're raising money, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Most of the time, yes.
Why not using your own money if you have it?
Because I have way more. Oh, that's a wonderful question. What a great question. Because the people who use their own money don't have any other opportunities in their life.
Okay.
Write that down. Think about that. How much does my hard money lender charge me?
8 to 10.
Let's say it's 12%.
Okay.
Okay. If I go fix and flip and I save myself 12%.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say that, this is such a great, like honestly, one of my favorite questions. Such a great question. But I want you to write this down. Okay. People who use their own money for fix and flips have zero other opportunities. And I'll give you a couple examples, okay? So let's say that I have $200,000 in cash in my bank. Okay, this is in my personal bank account. Okay, you follow me on this?
Yes.
And I go do a fix and flip, and I decide that I'm not going to use a hard money lender. I'm just going to fund the renovate. I'm going to fund the purchase of the house myself, $150,000 cash. I'm going to pay for the closing costs and miscellaneous stuff, and then my renovation, let's say, is $40,000. I use all my own money, and it totals $200,000. And let's say that this renovation takes 1 month to do. No, not 1 month. We'll be really aggressive here. Okay, let's say it takes us 2 months to renovate it and 2 months to sell it. Okay, so that's 4 months. Okay. If I buy the house for $150 and I renovate it for $50, that means it cost me $200,000 to do that project, right? Let's say I sell it for, hypothetically, let's say I sell it for $250,000. Okay. I take out my $200,000 because that's what it cost me in purchase and closing costs and utilities and all the things and my renovation. I have a $50,000 spread. I didn't say $50,000 profit. I said $50,000 spread.
Yep.
Now what do I have to pay for is I have to pay for, I don't know, probably about $15,000 in closing costs, commissions and stuff like that. My wife's a realtor, so I don't pay full closing costs, but let's say that that's closing costs and commissions, okay? So I made $35,000, right? Can we agree? Are we kind of like, I know that this is a general number and we could pull out a P&L and I could get really finite on this, but I think that's a waste of time. Are we on the same page here that I made a net of $35,000?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Now, let's say that I did not use my own money. Let's say that I used somebody else's money. $200,000 at 12% interest, let's say, shoot, let's go high. Let's even say 14% interest. Okay. I would never pay 14% interest, but let's say I do. what is my monthly payment, or what's the total amount of money that $14,000 or that 14% cost me? Let's do the math. 200,000 multiplied by 0.14, that's $28,000. That means that if I had that money for 1 year, I would pay $28,000 in interest only, right? Are we on the same page?
Yes.
Then I divide this by 12 months. What is my monthly payment? My monthly payment is $2,333 per month, right?
Mhm.
Got it. And what did we say? What did we say that we could, how many months was this going to take us? 4 months, right? 2 months to renovate, 2 months to sell it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to multiply that by 4, which means I have that payment times 4. That means that I paid my hard money lender $9,333 to my hard money lender, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So most people look at this, and this is where this question comes from, and they go, oh my gosh, I don't want to pay $9,000 to a hard money lender. Does anybody else agree with this? Guys, everybody in the comments, do you guys, everybody agree with this? Does this make sense? Are we all on the same page, or have I lost some people? Wow, nobody's made a comment in the chat this whole time. Come on, guys. I came in here 30 minutes early and nobody, there we go. Cool. So $9,333. Now, we originally, if we used our own money, I would have made $35,000 with my own money, right? If I used a hard money lender, how much would I have made? Let's say $35,000 in profit, subtract my $9,333. I would have made $25,000, $667 using OPM or other people's money, right?
Yep.
Now, this is a little bit controversial, but this is the honest answer. You're looking at this and you're saying, why wouldn't I want to just keep that $10,000? Well, I'll tell you why. If I took my $200,000 in cash and I bought one title company, and I'm not exaggerating, one title company gives me a 400% ROI every single year. Okay, if I buy one title company for $200,000, that title company will kick me back about $800,000 in profit. The difference is I invest in it one time. And this is what we do with our money. So what's magical is that I can take my $200,000 and I can buy a title company. But guess what else I can still do? I can still go and do a fix and flip with somebody else's money. But my $200,000 made a 400% return. And I was using somebody else's money at 12% return. So the way I look at it is that if I use my money in my own fix and flip, it is an absolute waste of my money because I'm only saving myself a 12% return, whereas I could have put it anywhere else and made way more than 12% and still done a fix and flip with somebody else's money. Okay. Let's forget about the title company. Let's say the title company is not an opportunity for you, right? My average Subto deal, okay? Does anybody have a guess on what my average, let's do this. My average Airbnb, okay? My average Airbnb, I only buy creative, guys. We do not do the burst strategy. I think the burst strategy is an absolute waste of my time personally. We only buy on seller finance or subject to. So let's talk about an Airbnb. What is my average cost to purchase an Airbnb? Seller down payment, cost of an assignment fee, closing costs, furniture, couple months of payments while it's vacant. What do you guys think is the average cost for me to start up an Airbnb in cash? What do you guys think? 28 people in here. our average cost is about $25,000. Okay. Now, do I have some right now that have cost me $50,000 to $70,000? Yes. But I also have some that have cost me $10,000 to $20,000, right? So my average, let's just say my average is $25,000. So my $25,000, I could essentially go buy 8 Airbnbs. And let's just be really conservative. Let's say that I only did 2 Airbnbs with my $200,000. I took my $200,000 and I went and bought a seller finance deal, and I put one deal for $100,000 where the seller got $20,000 in cash. The person who brought me the deal got $20,000. My furniture was super nice. I had to do a light renovation on the deal, whatever, right? It was $100,000. Let's say I do another one for $100,000. Okay. Now, here's what's cool. Not only do I get the cash flow from the deal, okay, what's my average net cash flow on each one of my Airbnbs? It's about $5,000 a month is my average net. Okay, so not only do I get the average cash flow of 5,000 times 2, I also get tax benefits. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I don't use my money to fix and flip, is because I can use my money to buy properties, and my money buying properties actually wipes out my tax bill on my fix and flips through depreciation, right, guys? We all know what depreciation is. We've talked about this 100 times. Number 3, if I took over somebody's loan subject to, right, seller finance, whatever, I've now got loan pay down, right? Now my Airbnb guests are paying down my mortgage, and this is sleeping money. This is me making money while I sleep, right? And that's that silent savings account. Okay. Then the fourth thing that I like is I like the appreciation, which, it's number 4 because you can't count on appreciation, but it definitely, well, you can, you just can't count on when it happens. It might happen now. It might happen in 30 years, but 99% of all real estate in the United States will appreciate at some point, and that's proven with statistics. So what would I rather have, right? So I'll give you guys an actual deal. Here's a really good one. 78 Maddox. I've brought this one up multiple times. This one is a property in Atlanta. You guys can look it up and see I own it. It cost me $100,000 to the seller in a down payment. I bought the house. Sorry, let's start from the top. How do you guys like this long answer? Is everybody enjoying this long answer or no? Should I move on from this? Does everybody kind of get the answer here? So I bought the property for $1,025,000 at 3% interest on seller finance. Okay. This actually came from a sub-2 student, brought this deal to me. Problem with this deal is that she wanted retail. This was actually $1,025,000 was at the time, it was retail. Now in 6 months, this property is worth about 1.3 million. So I'm now no longer underwater, but I really don't care about that. That's not what I cared about. What do I care about? She wanted $100,000 as a down payment, and I got that. Okay. I gave that to her. I then paid an assignment fee for $10,000 for the deal because I was paying full retail. So nobody expected me to pay some crazy high assignment fee. I paid, I think Noah Hoffman ended up taking like $25,000 to get the Airbnb. This is a really high-end luxury deal. It's a 3-story home, 8 beds, 5 baths. Okay. I have multiple houses just like this, but this is a really good example because it's a really high entry fee. Okay. This is not typical. Again, my average Airbnb cost me about $25,000. Okay. But essentially what I did is, let's see. Then I had a couple of payments I had to make the seller, and it was another, I think, $15,000 in miscellaneous things and utilities while I was getting the Airbnb up and going. But it was $150,000 cost to get that Airbnb up and going. Okay, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, but let's talk about what I get in return for this $150,000. The Airbnb brings in $21,000 a month. Yes, that you heard that correct. Again, it's an 8-bed, 5-bath, 3-story luxury home in downtown LA or downtown Atlanta. So it brings in, a really high amount. It's like $750 per night, something like that. Okay. Our net, I'm not going to go through the breakdown, but my net is an average right now. This is what goes in my pocket every single month. This is pocket money, my net. I make $10,800 per month. Sorry, this is positive. $10,800 a month on this property on average. And if you multiply that by 12 months, what do I get in return? Let's say $10,800 multiplied by 12 equals $129,600 is roughly what my net return is. Okay. Net return. Okay. So let's look at that. $129,000 divided by $150,000. That is an 86% return, cash on cash. So does it make sense to me that I would ever take my own personal cash and fix and flip a property with it when I understand creative finance and I can go buy properties like this every single day of the week? And I'm not exaggerating. I have deals being sent to me every single day just because I keep relationships with wholesalers all over the country. So wouldn't you rather? The question should be why? Here's the question. You guys tell me, why would a fix and flipper ever use their own money to fix and flip a property? The answer goes right back to the very beginning. Now you understand why I gave you the answer. People who use their own money for fix and flips have zero other opportunities. Because a 12% return is an absolute waste of your time if you understand how to invest. Okay, the people that buy, this is my personal opinion. There's people in here that invest in the stock market, so I'm going to offend a few people. The stock market average return is how much? 7. Right? Why do people invest in the stock market? It doesn't pay up. It doesn't give you loan pay down. It doesn't give you appreciation. Or it gives you appreciation. It doesn't give you monthly cash flow unless you've got dividend stocks, and they're nowhere near what you are in real estate. It's because people buy stocks because they don't understand real estate or they don't have enough opportunities in real estate. All of my friends who are high-level real estate investors, the only thing that they'll invest in stock is if a company is going to do an IPO and their growth is way, way bigger than that. Okay, so here's the thing. Not only is this property on Maddox making me an 86% cash on cash return, right? I put in $150,000 in cash. I get $129,000 yearly. That's one deal you can retire on that. Would I retire on 129 grand? No, my power bill is $3,000 a month. I'm not retiring on $129,000 a year. No way. But most people would be happy with that. That's one deal. Meanwhile, I could be fixing and flipping, still using somebody else's money simultaneously. It's not an either or thing. Essentially, what happens when you invest with your own money into a deal, you've just killed all of your ammunition. You have no more ammunition to go buy your own deals unless you're really good at raising private capital, okay? And this is why I did a 15-hour mini course on exactly how to raise private capital, okay? I did it, and a lot of people loved it and got a tremendous amount of value out of it. And I had one student say that after their first day of watching my Raising Private Capital Zooms, they went out and raised $150,000 in like 2 hours. They didn't realize how easy it really was. So cash on cash return on that deal is really good. So my cash flow is awesome. The second thing is that it has appreciated just in the last 6 months, $300,000. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna count on that appreciation, like I said multiple times. But my depreciation, check this out. My depreciation, because I did what's called a cost segregation. Okay, cost seg. I don't want to spell it because I'm dumb. A cost segregation This ended up getting me roughly a $400,000 tax deduction because I bought this one property. So essentially what that means is I could go make $400,000 in my fix and flip business in profit. And because I got a tax deduction in my buy and hold portfolio, they counteract each other. So $400,000 in profit here gets canceled out because of the technical depreciation through the cost segregation that I took. It is absolutely insane when I see people fixing and flipping with their own money. Now, I understand it. What I understand is it tells me a story. When somebody's fixing and flipping with their own money, it either tells me, A, they haven't gone out to build a real business that has way more opportunities than just putting their money in fix and flips. And two, the second thing that it tells me is it tells me that they might be a little bit on the safer side, right? Somebody that's like, I don't want to take somebody's money. And I run into that frequently. There's a lot of people with a personality that are like, I don't want to take on somebody else's money. It stresses me out. And if that is a real concern of yours, then I totally get that. That's a personality thing. The reason why people use their own money is because they have a fear of taking on somebody else's cash. They're inexperienced and they, have fear of loss. Or in my opinion, most of the time, they just don't have the opportunity. In fact, I see most people that are fixing and flipping, they'll go do one deal and they'll stop looking for deals. They'll get this amazing disease that we all know about, which is one-itis. They get one deal and they focus all their time and energy on that one deal, and they use their own money, and then they go to a seminar wondering how they can scale their business. Does that make sense? That's how you scale your business. This is how the big boys do it. Okay. The big boys do it all like that. And so when I don't use my own money to fix and flip, it's not just a tagline of like, look at me, I fix and flip this property with no money, no credit, no credentials. And I 100% did, but it's not just to have a tagline. It is, and to sound cool, it is truly, why would I ever use my own money for a fix and flip once I know I can put my money anywhere else? Does that answer your question?
Yeah.